Well, it's an anniversary and a good anniversary. It's been 3 years since the Dobbs decision, but we all know what that was. That was the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Now, that's great. Where are we now, though? Because ultimately the goal is to save the babies. That's the ultimate goal. We're doing that? Are things getting better, worse? We figured 3 years later it'd be good to check in with our favorite Dr. Abby Johnson, former Planned Parenthood director, and she's actually a best-selling author as well. Abby, okay, 3 years later, how are the babies?
Well, the abortion rates are actually up. So, I think everybody thought this is going to be the saving grace that we all needed, that we're going to overturn Roe and suddenly abortions are going to go away. That's not at all what happened. So, abortions are up across the country. Late term abortion, so abortions in the third trimester, are actually at historically high levels. Abortion pills, so medication abortion, chemical abortion, whatever you want to call it, that is available now in all 50 states. We now have, and you just get that online, by the way. You just type in whatever information you want. You don't have to talk to a doctor. You don't have to talk to a medical professional. You don't even have to be pregnant. You don't even have to be a woman to get these pills for them to show up at your house. And now, I mean, what? I mean, we've got now a handful of states that have ratified their constitutions to allow abortion all the way up to 9 months of pregnancy. So, I mean, how are we since Roe's been overturned? I mean, I think things are considerably worse, if I'm being honest. I mean, is there hope moving forward? Absolutely. We always have hope. But was it this, silver bullet that we thought it was going to be to end abortion? No, it hasn't been.
Okay, let me just ask a general question to follow up from that then. Why? Why hasn't it gotten better? Is it just simply the ease of the pill, which you just pointed out? Anyone can get it any place. Is that it? Is it the pill?
Yeah, I think the pill has been a significant contributing factor to the abortion increase across the country. And I also think um I think too, and I was just actually talking to someone about this. Abortion is hard. Fighting against abortion is hard. And so, I think people, and particularly people who are sort of, moderately pro life, or maybe, the people that aren't necessarily out here fighting this, there was something introduced to them that was kind of new and shiny. And that was the transgender movement, right? And so, transgender transgenderism in the media, and that's kind of taken over, and that is an easy fight to have. So it's very easy to say, well, boys shouldn't be changing in girls locker rooms, or we've got lots of stories of that. And so I think that was kind of the next new shiny thing that conservatives could focus on. So when Roe was overturned, I think a lot of conservatives, particularly sort of people that weren't kind of in the pro life movement, said, okay, well, great. We don't have to focus on abortion anymore. And then here came this big, nasty transgenderism beast. And so all these conservatives said, okay, well, here's a new thing to fight against. And it was so easily unifying, because even people who are gay and lesbian, a lot of them don't even like what's going on with transgenderism. So it was something that was so unifying to the base, and it's easy to fight against. Whereas abortion is super hard to fight against because it's way more divisive than this transgenderism issue. And so I think people have just sort of given up. I think that a lot of people think that this argument is settled, but from my kind of field of vision, um, there's no way it's settled. As long as these innocent children are dying, as long as innocent children are being pulled apart in their mother's wombs, as long as women are still dying from these abortion procedures, it's not finished.
Why is abortion so ingrained in our culture? Does it just come down to a length of time thing, Abby? Is it just that simple? It's been going on here for so long, 50 plus years, longer than that, obviously, that now it's almost like it's cemented into this culture in a lot of ways. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I mean, we can look back, in the Old Testament, right? And we see people sacrificing their children for different things, right? For success, wealth, to appease, false gods. And they didn't call it abortion back then, but it was child sacrifice. We're essentially doing the same thing. Why are women aborting their children? For wealth, careers, to fulfill their own selfish desires. I mean, that's primarily what abortion is used for today. And it's the same thing. It's child sacrifice. It's just called something more palatable because nobody's going to say, oh, I'm going to go sacrifice my child at Planned Parenthood today, right? So we've called it something more palatable, but it's the same demon that people were fighting in the Old Testament, just a new name. Um, and I think that we have for so long, really since the introduction of the birth control pill in the 60s, we have been promoting this environment that it's easy and we should be allowed to have sex without consequences. And that's just not realistic. And so if you promote that and you're telling women and men that you have the right to have sex without consequences, well, when that consequence is a baby, then naturally they're going to say, well, then I should have the right to take the life of that baby so that I can live the life that I want to.
Abby, what about Planned Parenthood? Have they been defunded? Is that coming? Are we getting somewhere with that? It seemed like that was gaining traction, but I'm so used to the GOP lying to me about that at this point. I'm just the ultimate cynic. Where are we at in this whole thing?
So we had hoped that this bill would have already been through and have gotten a vote. It has not yet. So, the House passed it. Now the Senate is it's just still hanging out in the Senate. Um, yeah, I mean, this bill would defund Planned Parenthood. I think it also has some concerning things in it, though. It's got uh, a lot of language about AI, about some tech that should be concerning to us. Um, so I don't know. I mean, is that the answer that we're looking for? This particular bill? I'm not sure. Do I want Planned Parenthood defunded? Absolutely, but I think we have to do it the right way. And if we defund Planned Parenthood, does that mean abortion goes away? No, it doesn't. Um, so I think we have to be realistic. I think we were not realistic when we overturned Roe. And I think we have to be very realistic when we're talking about defunding Planned Parenthood. I think a lot of people in the movement, a lot of conservatives are kind of hanging their hat. They hung their hat on overturning Roe, and that didn't work out like we thought it was going to. So now they're hanging their hat on defunding Planned Parenthood. But I can tell you right now, that is not going to shut them down. They have many, many private donors. We've talked about this before, Jesse. Warren Buffett is the largest donor to Planned Parenthood. And, he's donating over $130 million a year to help low income women murder their babies. So it's not like all of a sudden they're going to be defunded and all their clinics are going to close. That's a foolish notion for anyone to have. The killing is going to continue. The murder is going to continue, whether or not we're federally funding them or not. Although I do think there are federal dollars shouldn't be going um, to that facility for a multitude of reasons, not just because they murder babies, but because they've been caught in multiple Medicaid fraud cases because they don't know how to use the funds properly. I mean, there's so many reasons that we should defund them. The fact that they murder babies is the primary one, but it's not the only one.
Abby, keep it up as always. Appreciate you very much. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.